What's the difference between inspiration and copying? It's kind of the same as the difference between rotoscoping and reference. Copying is tracing. Copying is just, let's say I just take my face here and I just trace over it 100%. That is one form of copying. I'm not changing anything, I'm just repurposing. That is not good. We never want to do that unless it's for learning purposes only. So if I'm trying to learn how to animate or learn how to draw, it's okay to trace. It's okay to rotoscope, to copy motion exactly. That's a good way of learning. That's a master study. But we don't want to post those anywhere. We don't want to show that and go, hey, look what I did. Because at that point, all we're doing is showing that, hey, we can trace things. Wow, great skill. That doesn't put a good image out for us as an artist. What we want to do is we want to take that original material and change it. So in terms of reference, we shoot reference, and then we don't copy the reference, we use it as inspiration. We can take a lot of the elements from it, but then we want to exaggerate, we want to push it, we want to make it different. And the way I was taught about this is, think of, why are you doing this in an animated form anyway? If you're just going to literally copy your reference one-to-one, so you shoot reference and then just copy it, why don't you just post your reference? Why don't you just do a live action film instead? What's the point of animating it if you're not going to change it? So you want to exaggerate, you want to improve upon the reference. And the same thing with art is, if you're just copying and tracing your reference, what was the point of drawing it in the first place? What did you change? What did you tweak? Did you push the line of action? Did you do anything new to it? What was the point? So it's really trying to exaggerate things. And it's a fine line. And it becomes even finer when you are taking inspiration from, let's say, another animated thing. So maybe I see a clip that I really love. Oh man, they did that animation so well. I should try to do something like that. If I end up just following what they did, all I've done is copied their work, which is really bad. You never want to do that in the animation industry or art industry in general. You want to use that as inspiration and then mix in different ideas. Make something unique on your own. Don't just copy. Yeah, I don't know if I answered the question correct, like the way you were hoping, but it's really, inspiration is something that lets you take an idea and then make something new out of it, something that is your own, whereas copying is just tracing and then reposting, and there's no creative element to it. It's just copying, which again is great for master studies and great for learning, but not something you should post online or like go, here, this is what I made, haha. Unless you specifically say master study, but even then I wouldn't, because someone's going to repost it somewhere else and it's not going to have your, oh, this is master studies I did of this show. They're just going to repost it, and then suddenly the wrong image gets set. Like, it's just, no, it's not worth the risk. And Pseudonimbus, thank you so much for the follow. So yeah, huge watermark on top, master study, exclamation points. Yeah, unless you can do something like that, but even then, it's just a tricky thing. I always thought of it as, you're not copying on top of something, it will always be different in some way, and then what the artist needs to do is that wacky form and try to make it work and make it sense. But to be better is to take the reference, understand it, and change the posing of the character or something. You don't necessarily have to change the posing per se, it's just exaggeration, and like your posing might all be the same, but maybe it's the timing that changes, all of that. And the other thing to keep in mind is that it depends on where you get your reference as well. So for example, if I shoot my own reference, I can stick much closer to that because I created something unique with my own reference. So I shoot my own reference, and then I can stick much closer to it without it feeling like it's copied, because no one knows what the original is from. It's something I created myself. But if I take reference from a film, maybe, I don't know, a shot from Star Wars, maybe Luke Skywalker doing something, and then I copy that, and I don't exaggerate in any way, and I just stick very close to that, people are going to notice. People are going to see that and go, oh, wait, that was just copied, wasn't it? And I've seen that a few times where I look at animations, especially from certain, like from students sometimes, and you can see when they took a reference from a film and they stuck a little too close to it. And it's like, oh, wait, I know that action. I've seen it. And then I'll look back at the reference they use and yep, that's the film. And they stuck too close. Instead of using it for inspiration, they copied the motion. And it creates that lack of creativity, which you don't want in your work. You don't want people to go, oh wait, I know that. And then they look for the original source and yeah, it's one-to-one. So shooting your own reference is good. So for example, one thing you might do is, okay, I really like this action that Luke does in Star Wars. Okay, let's shoot reference of myself doing it, but I'll try to change it up a little bit. So now I'm taking Star Wars, then shooting my own reference, changing it up, and then taking my animation and going off of my reference and changing from there as well. So now I'm taking that original source, but I'm iterating on it many times so that that the end result is more original and not just a direct copy from the source. Yeah, so someone copied animation from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, claiming it was inspiration, but it was one-to-one. Yeah, exactly. I've seen that with a shot of what was it? King Kong. Of King Kong like swinging around and dropping down in this big weighty motion. That I saw someone post work where like they animated this creature swinging down and doing this big weighty motion, and it's like, wait, I've seen that before. And I looked back, I had the film on my computer, and I looked back and I scrubbed through. It's like, it's one-to-one. They used the exact same motion, the exact same camera angle and everything, and just used it. They changed the rig, they changed the scenario, but it was one-to-one. And that is a good test, but does not go on your reel ever, and it shouldn't be posted online at all. So, hey Kevin, hey, how's it going? I'm impressed. It's more impressed you remember the scene perfectly like that. It's just one of those things where you look at it, it's like, I've seen this before, and for some reason it clicked on me right away. But I've seen that happen where people try to steal art. And I've seen this with animation as well, where someone copied scene, like not just scene for scene, but frame for frame shots from Animation Mentor and iAnimate student reels. So like the showcases that get posted by the schools of the best student work, someone was copying those and putting it on their reel. Don't do that ever. Like, that person is blacklisted from the industry now. They're never going to get a job unless they can, again, lie on their resume. You do not copy work ever. You can take inspiration. So, ooh, you know, I like that lightsaber battle in Star Wars. Okay, let's take this like reference of someone fighting and maybe this one here, let's merge them together and add lightsabers and make my own lightsaber battle. You create something new out of it, and you shoot your own reference for it if you can, or get someone to shoot reference for you if you need. Try to come up with something yourself. If you're just copying and posting it as your own, you're not going to make it far in the industry. One of the biggest things that recruiters are looking for is work that is creative and unique. That is much more highly praised than technical skill. So if your animation skills are okay, but you can create interesting and unique shots, that's going to get you a job and keep you in the industry for the rest of your career, versus being able to animate very, very well, but you're just copying reference and just doing exactly what, just like copying, not creating unique ideas. Try to practice those skills. So let's see. And like you've seen on this channel here, I've done master studies. I've copied and traced over films and things like that, but I never claim it as my own, and I would never post a final product of that. That is a learning tool only. So be very, very specific with that, and be very careful what you post on social media because of that.